You're watching Nittany Nation Update.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Peter Terpster here with your Nittany Nation Update. It is Thursday, September 19th. I double-checked. Hope everyone's having a good day. Just wanted to kind of tell you, what we've been working on today and some stuff we got coming up. I'm in the Altoona sports office. The, The sports fishbowl. There we go. We have taped our latest edition of Nittany Nation Overtime with the Nitwits. Neil Riddell from the Altoona Mirror, Mark Brennan from FightOnState.com, 24/7 Sports. And our guest during this week, the first bye week for Penn State, was Penn State Athletic Director Sandy Barber. And first off, always awesome to have her on. It's pretty rare for an athletic director to take the time out of a busy schedule to basically come on a local talk show and just hash out everything that's been going on in the area or the world of Penn State athletics. So I just wanted to hit on some of the things that we talked about. And the first thing we hit on was the new parking plan for Penn State football and how that might be affecting traffic on game day. Obviously, the Pitt game had a lot of visitors come in. And it was a noon kickoff, so you kind of have more people making their way to the stadium at the same time. And there were some traffic problems. So Sandy came on our show, basically kind of talked about, what they're looking at and how the big thing is that they are not they're not going to stray away from making changes. They'll make changes if they need to, and that's good to hear. So that's one of the big things we hit on. We also talk about facility improvements. The Lash football building, which is kind of the practice, office, everything building for Penn State football. Money approved for that and kind of how the money goes from, the approval process and, gets into the right hands to, and start building on buildings and stuff like that. Another facility improvement we talked about is Beaver Stadium. Sandy mentioned that the improvements to Beaver Stadium were not in the first wave of their master plan, but she does talk about kind of where that's at, and all this is teasing to those shows. So if you want to see the full interview, of course, you can catch it a couple times this weekend. You can catch it on Nittany Nation, and we will not have a Nittany Nation game day show. I have to make that clear. We're not going to have a Nittany Nation game day show this weekend because there is no game. Instead, you're going to have Nittany Nation Overtime air Saturday at 11:30 a.m., and then Sunday at 11:30 p.m. So it normally airs every Sunday, 11:35 p.m. on WTAJ. You're going to get it twice this weekend, so you got two different chances to catch it. Our show, sitting down with Sandy Barber, talking about all things Penn State athletics. Another thing we hit on is she has a new title, which comes along with a contract extension. She's I believe it's vice president of something. I'm not sure, but it's a more lengthy title than just athletic director, and that's part of her contract extension with university, which we've previously reported on. So congrats to her on the contract extension. A couple other things we talk about, kind of rapid fire. We hit on the possibility of a high school game at Beaver Stadium, which had been talked about, but there's nothing set in stone right now. And you'll get to hear from Sandy kind of on where that whole process is at, and Penn State's open to it, so that's pretty good news. We also talked about the hiring of the new women's basketball coach, Carolyn Keeger, and what to expect from that program going forward. So we hit on a bunch of different things, from parking to the football-related stuff as far as facility improvements, stuff like that, her contract, new women's basketball coach, maybe a high school game at Beaver Stadium. All those things we hit on. So it should be a good show. Once again, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on WTAJ, an extra airing of Nittany Nation Overtime. And then Sunday at 11:35 p.m., the normal time for Nittany Nation Overtime, you get it again. So you can watch it twice this weekend. That's your Nittany Nation update for Thursday, September 19th. I'm Peter Terpstra in the Sports Fishbowl. That's it for me, folks. Have a good one.